we see it in policing. Not only in the way the policing is being practiced, but in the instructions police officers get. They're explicitly told not to treat people equally. Explicitly.
Honestly, this stuff, it's dementing. It's absolutely dementing.
That's the quotes from the police own instructions.
And it may be because you found one document.
I cannot believe what I have just heard. So Alistair Campbell, Tony Blair's spokesman, back in 2003, just openly admitted on a podcast that he doesn't think two-tier policing is actually happening in the UK. Deary me, and thinks it's ridiculous and made up. He thinks it's made up. Another absolute prat. By the way, he's a journalist and either he has no idea about what's going on or he's just way too naive to believe it's actually happening. But for them words to come out of his mouth and says it's not actually happening, the two-tier policing is not happening in the UK. Deary me. Please wake up, Alistair, because you have no idea, do you?
That's the way this debate is being done. And by the way...
That's the way the debate is being done.
Alistair, hold on.
Debate.
Alistair, chill out. Not only is it the way the debate is being done, we see it in policing. Not only in the way the policing is being practiced, but in the instructions police officers get. They're explicitly told not to treat people equally.
Yep,
explicitly.
Honestly, this stuff, it's dementing. It's absolutely dementing.
That's the quotes from the police own instructions.
And it may be because you found one document where some guy who's writing some guidance for police is...
So hang on a sec. Remember Digwas and Henry Noack's case? Remember the police that turned up and left Henry on the floor, bleeding to death, even though he says he's been stabbed? No, you ain't, mate, quoted by the officer, that they took a racial claim more seriously than Henry that had been stabbed on the floor. Then police officers, just like Tommy Robertson exposed on their page, they are being trained to treat people with colour differently. It is on their website. You do not have to say, oh, it's absolutely demented. It's proven. It is on their website that is how they train police officers. Deary me.
The idea...
It's the College of Police and Guidance.
Okay. Wait a minute.
This is how police officers are trained.
Okay.
Why are you saying okay like I'm saying I'm making something up?
Because I think, I'm not saying
you're
you're
looked
making
into
up.
this?
Not as deeply as you
Well,
have.
I think you should.
Well, maybe I should, but
Because then you wouldn't dismiss the factual things I'm saying out of hand. Which is what you're doing.
Let me dismiss it my own way.
Go ahead.
Right, okay. He's going to hog the microphone again.
I know. This is outrageous to me. You haven't looked into this.
Well, because, I'm aware of the issue. And
So why are you dismissing it?
Because
100% aware of the issue, but clearly dismissing it, aren't you? You're a journalist, so you should know your stuff. Clearly, you don't know half your stuff because you don't look into things, do you? Because this is what's happening. Two-tier policing doesn't just happen once. It's happening all the time, Alistair. And you'll say, oh, no, this is stupid. This isn't happening. You're way too naive to even think it's happening. Get off your high horse and start looking at what's actually happening inside Britain.
I think two things. First of all,
That's what people mean when they say woke. It's not a catch-all phrase. They mean two-tier treatment.
It is a catch-all phrase. No, they don't. They call you woke if you sort of campaign for gay rights.
Not at all.
Yes, they do.
There's loads of gay people who use the phrase woke.
Okay, they may do.
All right, come back to the police.
Come back to the police. I'll come back to the police. Right.
Fine.
So, two big points I would make about the police. It may sound slightly contradictory. The first is, I think the police get a very, very hard time in our country.
I agree. Yeah.
Okay? And I am broadly supportive of most police officers, but like any organisation, there are some really bad people in there and they've got to be reaching out.
Absolutely.
That's the first thing.
Agreed.
The second thing I would say is that if there is a race issue within policing in this country, it is not directed against white people.
It's directed against both people.
Okay.
Both groups.
But if you have to make a judgment as to who comes off worse in our policing and criminal justice system, it is not in the
Why do you have to make that judgment? Why do
I'm making that judgment because you've just made a judgment.
Wait, what?
You've just made a judgment based upon.
Let me add two words to my sentence.
Yeah,
Let me add two words to my sentence. Why do you have to make a judgment about which race should get preferential treatment when the standard should be? No.
It should be no one gets treated any different. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter about your colour, doesn't matter about your religion, whatever. No person should be treated differently in the policing system. It's as simple as that, isn't it? But we already know time and time again, people are getting treated differently in this country. because of the big R word all the time. They're too frightened all the time. Just like the grooming gangs in Shropshire that they covered for over 40 years because they were too frightened to labelled as racist. Bonkers.
But
I'm saying that's what happens.
the standard should be that we're
Correct.
all equal under the law.
Correct.
But the guidance currently is to many police forces in this country that we're not all equal under the law.
No, they're saying you treat people differently in the way that you handle them.
That
You have
is
to be-
people not being
You
equal
have
under
to
the
be
law.
conscious. You have to be conscious of certain things. You have to be conscious of how you deal with them. Look, I've not got into as deeply as you, because when that was happening, I can't remember whether it was around Southampton or it was around, I can't remember even when that came to light, right? But as that was happening, I thought, here we go again. We're going to get something taken out of context, twisted into a debate that says the police are all anti-white.
But no one is saying.
Okay, then. So if you did your research, again, you'd know about Henry Nowitz's case, wouldn't you? On the floor, bleeding out. He said multiple times, I have been stabbed. I have been stabbed. I have been... Multiple times, 5 or 6 times. And the police dragged him across the floor and took a racial claim by Digworth, the killer of Henry, more serious than somebody, Henry on the floor, saying he's been stabbed. Tell me how that is acceptable. Tell me, taken out of concept. Oh, just like the Southampton, taken out of concept. You have no idea, Alistair, no idea.
Yes, that's exactly what was being said.
Let me correct myself. No one in this room is saying that.
But that's why we're having this
That's not why we're having
debate.
this debate.
Well,
We're having this debate because the police guidance in this country is to
Okay.
treat people differently.
well, the police all operate and should operate under the law, treating
They
everybody
don't,
equally.
because they're
Okay.
being,
Well, I
they're
could
being
say the
treated
same.
differently.
Does that mean that, for example, policemen aren't told that? So let's just give you an example. When the Henry Novak
Oh, here we go.
situation, okay? Now, they all get trained and they all get guidance. And what it seems to me, I don't know because I wasn't there and I didn't follow the court case and I haven't read the transcripts, but from what I have gathered from that policemen trained arrive at a scene. They have been conditioned to expect something by what they think has been happening, and they then go and deal with it in the way they deal with it.
Yeah.
Quite quickly, it seems to me, realise they made a mistake, and then try to, get back in a decent place. As a result of which, not just they, but police officers who were not even there, including one that has actually retired from the police force, is then being hounded.
Well, that's obviously wrong.
Yes, of course it's wrong. But my point is that I think that that's why I think these debates, you've got to be really careful about how you conduct them.
And we are very careful about it. That's why I'm talking about specific
I know.
guidance. And let me make one other point. This show has a lot of police officers who listen to us. I had a guy come up to me, actually used to do he used to do close protection for prime ministers. I think he did Keir Starmer. The police officers who listen to us and who write into us and who come up to us in the street, they all say that the College of Policing and the guidance police officers received is absolutely rife with this stuff.
Okay, well, in which case,
with DEI and the idea that different groups of people should be treated differently. And I really hope people like you should take it more seriously. I really think you should.
100%.
Because, again, I'm making very reasonable points. I'm not having a go at you. I'm not saying you're woke or anything like that. But I think sometimes people dismiss these things out of hand when there's quite a lot of evidence now that in hiring, in quotas, in policing, in many different areas now, we do not have equal treatment for different groups.
This is the problem with Alistair, isn't it? Literally has made a career out of gaslighting people, and guess what? He's still doing it, isn't he? He has no answers, won't even acknowledge the problems. Politicians like this are the reason why so many countries are absolutely screwed. He has no answers, does he? No understanding at all. He doesn't research anything, and yet he says two-tier policing doesn't really exist in the UK. How? Time and time again, it keeps happening. Keeps happening. People keep getting treated differently. There should be equal rights in this country. They should be all treated equally. But we're seeing time and time again, it's clearly not like that, is it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please leave a like, subscribe. If you want to watch the full interview, I'll leave it down below in the description. Stay safe and have a great day.